Right, what's happening, people? It's me, Jay Fresh. You know you listen to Pyro Radio this Monday night with me for Jay Fresh and Friends. But it's not about me. It's all about sick new music from the world of hip-hop and grime and artists making those major moves right now. Now, if I can just describe my settings, I'm currently kneeling down in the spare bedroom, a kid's bedroom, with pink carpet and pink duvets and pink painted walls. I would not do this for just any artists. I would only do this for Hull's finest. Who have we got joining me on Zoom right now? Who's in the building?
You got CHIEDU ORAKA and DEEZKID in the building, or on Zoom, or however you want to say it.
I know.
What we're saying. Lockdown in the building.
I know. However we made it happen, we've made it happen, and that's the most important thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So first and foremost, guys, how are you finding? I mean, we're talking wordplay, lockdown, during lockdown. I mean, what's happening out here?
Well, it's a mad world right now, isn't it? Obviously, for the whole BLM and the whole BLM movement and stuff, and then the quarantine. 2020 has just been mad, but obviously we're just trying to find ways to keep ourselves busy, writing music, creating beats. Just, yeah, man, I'm sort of an activist at the moment in the whole community as well. Yeah, man, it's all systems go, like no time to rest.
That's right, man. No days off. I mean, you covered a lot of points there that we're going to go through during the interview. But, I mean, firstly and foremost, there are things that are more important than music. So you touched on it there, the whole Black Lives Matter movement at the moment, everything around that. How are you finding things?
Yeah, it's obviously a very frustrating time, and obviously a time that's pulling on my heartstrings and everyone else's heartstrings, I suppose. You don't have to be a black person to feel some sort of way about what's happening right now in the world. So obviously my job as a role model in my community is just to spread awareness to the youth, and not even just the youth. There's a lot of people that are not really educated and I sometimes don't mind stepping in and giving them a bit of a history lesson or sort of a lesson of how people of colour might be feeling right now.
Deez, what are you saying?
So yeah, I'm out here.
Nah, it's just a mad time at the minute. Obviously, I went to the protest yesterday with CHIEDU and a few of my mates. Watched CHIEDU give a very good speech as well. I just think, obviously, Black lives do matter. Do you know what I mean? Of course they do. It's something that's needed to be done for ages, especially when you're fucking watching these videos of people getting beat up for no reason. It's disgusting. I saw another video CHIEDU posted on Twitter as well about there's two black guys just getting cornered by a load of kids chucking bottles at them and that, and it's appalling, man. I
saw that. I think that was in Coventry from what the tweets are saying. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was crazy, absolutely crazy. Words fail me, man, and I feel like a lot of people are having a lot of conversations right now. Sometimes uncomfortable conversations with friends or family members, and sharing experiences or sharing perspectives that perhaps people aren't aware of. But I've seen some stuff on radio as well, some very powerful things on radio that are the first time those things have happened on radio as a platform. And you'd like to think they really can spark change, because that's the message from a lot of my friends across the board, is that they, and we all want things to actually be a catalyst for change and not be a thing for now and then people kind of gloss over it or just move forward and it's the next thing. Do you know what I mean?
Like it's just bad.
Say that again, Deez.
No, when he was like, it needs to be an actual change and not something for just now. You know what I mean? Like an internet fad, you know, with people just posting their social media stuff and not really believing in it.
Yeah, it needs to be
happens like properly.
It definitely needs to be more of a hashtag. But in all my years of life, I've never seen this amount of noise before for BLM. Everyone, well, obviously not everyone, but a large majority of the people are really getting behind the movement, and it's good to see that there's white people getting involved. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not and this is the message that I've been promoting on all my social medias. And every time I've done interviews, it's not a white versus black thing. This is what the media's trying to create.
People need to know as well. That's the thing that annoys me. Do you know when you go on Facebook and that? People think just Black Lives Matter. Like people are like, oh, what, white lives don't matter as well. It's not about that.
It's not about. I think it's because I don't know, for some weird reason, it's like people are feeling left out. They have to sort of say that sort of stuff. Like, it's all life matters, but BLM doesn't just mean that. We're just asking for our lives to matter. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's all we're asking for. And I've been quite blunt in my approach as well. Like I said, it's not white versus black. It's racist versus non-racist. And if you are sort of excusing that behaviour for things like the riots and, Anthony Joshua said this, you're looking for excuses not to be a part of the rightful cause. And in my opinion, if you are one of those people, you are on the opposite side, because this is not what it's about. Do you know what I mean? It's about unity, solidarity, the human race. And unfortunately, black people have suffered for more than 400 years on this earth. And we are just saying enough is enough. And that's it. You're either with us or you're not. And it's as blunt as that, basically.
I mean, I've seen there's a lot of material being shared online. Like you said, I feel like there's a collective voice that has never been this loud before in terms of how far it's reaching. And I've been sharing some stuff myself about some really good pointers on what white people can do, and you know, how they can get further education or read materials, or how you can respond to things. And I think an area you touched on there that's interesting is that, like, for example, I'm a white man, so there are certain issues and situations that I don't know about because I haven't personally experienced. So I will try and find out about those things, or speak to people who perhaps unfortunately have had to go through those things, to further my understanding of the situation. What you said there, and I think the people who are very anti, or they keep shouting all lives matter and they're just not getting it, is like there's nothing wrong with saying this is something that I need further understanding of, or this is something I need to know a bit more about, rather than I mean, you've seen it all over Twitter, people getting cancelled left, right, centre, brands getting cancelled because they don't understand, but then they're not trying to understand, they're just saying, well, this is my opinion. And yes, you can have an opinion, but there are certain things that you can't have an opinion on if you've never experienced it, or you're not part of that environment. You can have your opinion, but you don't have the right to have that opinion because you don't know. Yes, and I think that's a lot, Jay Fresh, I think that's the thing that sort of frustrates me. Sometimes I feel like, and it's not all people, I'm not generalising, but there is a small amount who sort of want to tell a black person how they're supposed to feel. And it's like, you can't tell me how I'm supposed to feel about racism. No offence, you have to really just sit there and listen. And I understand, like, and I want to send this message to black people around the world, or people of colour, that it's not your duty to educate people as well. Don't feel you have to be like Martin Luther all over your social medias. You don't have to, because the education is actually out there. We're in a world now where the internet is just full of information. Social media is full of information. There's loads of books. There's people like Akala. There's people like George the Poet, who are really, really saying some stuff right now. So there's no excuse to say, oh, I just don't understand, or, well, no, there is an excuse to say you don't understand, but there's not an excuse to not want to learn, because there's so much stuff out there. And if you choose not to read the stuff, then you are a part of the problem. You are being ignorant. Couldn't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more. And like we said, hopefully this is a situation that we will start to see some real change. And there's a long journey to go, and there's a lot of work, a crazy amount of work to be done. Yeah. But, you know, let's hope that this can be the start of something that is long overdue, like we said, man. Yeah, I'm feeling optimistic. I am. I really am. I've had some of the best conversations I've ever had in my life about racial injustice with people of colour, people who are white. I've had some great conversations, and like I say, not everyone is being ignorant. There's just a few idiots out there who are just not willing to sort of understand. But hopefully, like you said, this is just the start. We've got a very, very long way to go, but I'm optimistic, man, because I feel like them ignorant people will just be eradicated in the end. There's no way
people of colour are going to have it anymore. So they're rather with us or they're not.
Yeah, man, strong words there, and great to get your insight on such a powerful matter at the moment. If we move the conversation now towards music, obviously you guys are best known for, well, I would say best known, but you are kind of the figureheads of a city. Is it considered the Northeast?
I don't.
Yeah,
I suppose it is, isn't it? But when you say Northeast, I always just think of like Newcastle and Sunderland and that.
Exactly. And so, for someone based in South London, anything's north.
East Yorkshire, man. East side of that Yorkshire.
We are talking, of course, about a city who I've DJ'd in quite a few times over the last few years at a venue called the Piper, so big up to Tom and Adrian. We're talking about the previous city of culture. Of course, we're talking about Hull's finest.
Hull, man. HU.
Exactly. Now, it's a conversation that I know has been thrown at you, and I'm not the kind of interviewer, I'm not the kind of broadcaster to ask you those same questions you've been asked a million times, because that's just dead, and that's just not the way we do things. But are things progressing? Are things moving forward? Is there more of a scene developing? Or are we in a situation now with social media and everything around that it almost doesn't matter now, because you can build that fan base, connect with people, connect with producers and radio, and where you're based just doesn't matter anymore?
It's a bit of both, Jay. Like, there is a bit of a scene. There's a few MCs, definitely, who are trying to do their thing. I've always just said, like, it's down to professionalism, and I think that's what the whole scene's sort of lacking compared to other areas in the country. Videos and just stuff like that.
The whole content.
And content. Like, certain artists just need to get up to scratch with that. But there is definitely some talent in my city. I want to shout out people like Felix, Live Lands, Downtown Coyote, do you know what I mean? OSL. There's a few kids that are doing their thing, man, and taking it quite seriously. But like you said as well, we are in the age of the internet. You don't really need to it helps to come up as a team, and we are always trying to promote it. We've put on so many artists. But as well, yeah, man, like, you're in the age of the internet, so you can sort of build your own hype. Like we did, really. No one was really pushing us, man. We just sort of broke out from our local scene because, like I said, like we mentioned, the professionalism's not always there, and we don't want to be tarred with that same brush. So we are the figureheads. We don't try and compete really with anyone. Really, we're in our own lane, and we're just doing our
city too. We should like compete against, don't we?
Yeah, we're just doing our thing, man.
And if I bring in Deez now as well, in terms of your connection, how you guys connected, and then sometimes it's not only meeting people when you're younger adults and going, oh yeah, we like music together, but then when you start working together, the chemistry and the energy is there. So Deez, from your perspective, how did that kind of come around with the two of you?
Just basically, like, I was rating CHIEDU's music, and I was going to the youth centre. Long story short, just to use the studio equipment because my laptop had broke, I couldn't afford a new one. And a guy called Stu Baxter basically, well, I'd seen CHIEDU before, I'd chatted to him, but a guy called Stu Baxter basically was like, oh, you should make some beats for him. And we made like Dumb and Dumber. And ever since then, I've become like his in-house producer, and I rap with him on tunes as well. And I think just working with him over a long period of time, I know how he likes stuff mixed. I know what type of beats he likes. So, like, I can cater to him. Where if he works with me, usually, he won't have to worry about me mixing it on my own and stuff because he knows that I know what he likes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get that familiarity when you work together. And also, so not only is that a positive thing in understanding what each other wants and making the kind of tracks that, you know, he's feeling and whatever, but in a way also, when you've got that good energy, you can challenge each other in a way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can say, do you know what? Like, I know you can spit over that, but try and spit over this, or this is a little bit different, and you get that kind of friendly sparring to push each other forward and not get complacent, you know?
I feel like we did that with stuff like Darcy, because it was always like grime and hip hop was spitting to. And I remember like CHIEDU going, we need some of them festival tracks, do like just get people going. And then that's when I made like Darcy and Men Behaving Badly and a few of them style beats, and he came round to my house, started writing to him, and So that's when we started trying to do like some different style tracks, I feel.
And a word that is thrown out around you guys, and it is relevant and it is true, is that when we flick through the tracks you've done in the past and tracks you've worked on, is alternative is not really a word that I particularly like, but I'd say what your sound is very UK. Clearly there's a lot of influences there, and you're not afraid to test the water and go a little bit left and a little bit right. But you managed that well. It's not like 1 minute you do Afrobeat, 1 minute it's bashment, 1 minute it's jungle, 1 minute it's grime, 1 minute it's garage, and it's a bit like, where are you going with this? So you've got that. It's a hard thing to have, but that's your sound, which really can help develop you and fan base as well, because that's your sound. Do you know what I mean? They're like you.
I can say that, man, because me and CHIEDU have conversations sometimes, don't we? We're like, do we need to stick in this lane, that lane? We've had a few conversations over the phone about that, and I'm glad you're saying it works for us, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you're saying that, Jay, because I think we're in a world now where you put people in boxes. How would you describe your sound and all that? Or you get all them generic sort of questions, and like for me and Deezy,
who do you most sound like?
Me and Deezy always just say we just make UK rap based music. That's
rap
it.
based music, man. If we like a beat, we'll spit to it, you know.
Yeah.
If I like a beat, I'll try making a beat like that, you know.
And I think that's what defines a good artist. You know what I mean? Your favourite artists are normally people who rap on different sort of stuff. And for me, I'm not just like, one day you might hear me on a drill beat, and then you might hear me on a grime beat, then you might hear me on a garage beat, you might hear me on a funky house beat. I like everything. Do you know what I mean? That's just the influences that I like. I do like drill, but then I do like a UK sounding beat, what you might hear like someone like Gigs on. Or you might, like I say, I jump on what I like. That's it.
And I think that's echoes something even I've learnt myself as a producer. Like, I make and play hip hop and grime, I DJ hip hop and grime, and the common theme or thread that runs between it is every track I make will have a rapper, whether that's a rapper on a 104 BPM beat or it's someone spraying bars over 140. Everything I do will have a rapper, and I think once you
always have a rapper.
Once you find that, and you guys have got that as well, once you find that thread, it's very, you feel like some of the pressure is off. You know where you're at, and you can be creative musically, and you're like, this is just me putting my stuff out there. And that's what you guys have done with Men Behaving Badly, the project. You've just done what feels right, and you've just pushed it out there. How has that project gone for you so far?
It's been good, innit? Like, it's been good. I feel like I think whenever me and Deezy probably make music together, it would sound like that. Because I think we're both two kids from north of England, both off council estates, who, to be honest with you, just like to get drunk and cause mayhem. So when we're together, you're gonna get them vibes. But then differently, when we're solo, you're gonna get different vibes as well. Like, I'm a little bit more serious than Deezy's more like I don't know. Deezy's more. How can I describe him? I would say, I don't even know. Like, he's more of a joker. He's not as serious as me. I'm quite a serious guy. I can be quite moody and snappy. But I'm like Jekyll and Hyde, where Deezy's personality is a bit more consistent than mine. One day you'll wake up, CHIEDU's a very happy guy. The next day, I'll be the moodiest kid you've ever met in your life, and I won't want to speak to anyone. Where Deezy's consistently happy all the time. I'm pretty jealous of him, to be fair.
I just come across happy, man. I just hide my anger, I think, sometimes. But no.
But yeah. Nah, but yeah, if me and Dee, like I say, it's been a good project, man. It's been good. Yeah. I'm happy the way it's turned out, and yeah, man, just on to the next one.
And obviously, as artists who in the UK scene, naturally, your clubs.
Has the sound gone for you, Chad?
Yeah, I'll be muted.
There we go. All good?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, it's fine now.
All right. Obviously, what 2020 was going to look like for you, clubs, festivals, and the live element has naturally shifted somewhat. So how are you approaching the rest of this year? Because everyone has their own way. Some people are just stocking up the tracks on the hard drive. Some people taking a bit of time out to do family, as well as, educating themselves on other matters that maybe we spoke about earlier. Everyone's got their own journey. So for you guys, how are you approaching the rest of 2020? Because it has been the craziest year that I can ever remember in all of my many years on this earth.
So it's like, obviously we just had the war chant out, and I feel like at this time it doesn't feel right even promoting. You know, of all the stuff going on, I feel like it's not right even just... And CHIEDU himself, like we're saying, it doesn't feel right just listen to our tune when there's bigger matters going on, bigger issues in the world. So I'm taking time just to try learning, like just perfecting my craft. I'm like watching more videos on mixing and I'm just trying to like better my craft basically.
I think I'm just going to try and build some tracks, build like a hard drive of tracks, keep on with my activism work, educating and try, like I've got meetings with like councillors and MPs and stuff about the local stuff in my area. And yeah, I think I'll try and release some singles as well and then build up for 2021. I feel like it's going to be a big year. Like it's going to be more like a solo year for both of me and Deez. Deez is going to go his way. Obviously, Deez will be producing for me, but I think I'll be releasing a lot of solo tracks and just building the brand, man. And like Deez said, just learning marketing skills, just learning how to put out content. And you know what, Jay, just building a nice networking portfolio, I think.
I think that's the most important for us at the minute.
Yeah.
So I think the tunes, not saying like it's just easy, but I think the tunes are more like easier to do for us. Like we know our formula, we know how to make music. I think sometimes for us it's just building our social media and literally meeting new people, trying to get onto festivals, because we still really done like any of the like Leeds Festival and stuff like that. And I feel like we'd smash it, you know, if we got to do it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thanks so much for joining us today here on Pyro. Can you please introduce your brand new track as we play it right here?
Brand new track, CHIEDU ORAKA and DEEZKID, the War Chant, majestic edit. Hope you enjoy it.